Let's talk about how you can make money from politics. Yes, I know before it was just the politicians making money from politics, with bribes among other things like back scratching. This is how they scratch each other's backs, and here's a double back scratch. But yes, you can make money too, and legally. You won't end up in jail like a lot of politicians. Tyler from MacroOps has this great article about using political prediction markets for fun and profit. I'll link to this article so you can read it, but let's go over it. This is great. This is a great article. I love it. So at the beginning, Tyler explains how elections are pretty interesting to macro traders because they really affect the market. Like, look right here what happened to the S&P during the Trump elections. Running up into the election, it dropped, and then he got elected and it shot up high again. It was a 5.5% crash and rally when the markets were closed. You don't see that often. So Tyler explains that the magnitude of a macro market move after a political event depends on how much the results surprise traders. So it's just like an earnings announcement in a regular stock. If results come in way above expectations, the stock will rip hard. If results come in way below everyone's expectation, the stock tanks. And up until recently, we've had to rely on subpar polling models created by people who have no real money backing their predictions. And you know how wrong all these models have been. The polls have been off for a long time. They did not give us a good indication of who is going to win. They give you an even worse indication of where traders are positioned in the market, getting ready for who's going to win or lose. But now you got stuff like PredictIt, and it's predictit.org. Wow, that's surprising to get a .org on a gambling site. But that's basically what this is. You can now bet on political decisions. You can bet yes or no. See, will Trump be impeached? That's one bet. Who's the next US president? Mueller report? Russia investigation? Want to bet on some Russian stuff? You can bet on Iowa. Who doesn't want to do that? Bunch of political stuff you could have your way with. You can put your money on the line and see what happens. So this gives us a glimpse into how people around the world are judging the odds of global political events. And this is much better than polling because these people are actually putting their money behind their judgments. That's one of the nicest things about the market, right? You have a price chart to see where people are actually putting their money. Because you can read forecasts and all sorts of stuff, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is where people are putting their money. They need to put their money where their mouth is. People talk a lot, you know it. Doesn't matter. PredictIt plays off that, so it operates based off a simple contract price between $0 and $1. So then traders have the option to either purchase yes or no shares on any given question or event. And then at the end of each event, after it's happened, the winners are paid out $1 a share and the losers receive $0 a share. And then the price to buy or yes or no, that fluctuates depending on the supply and demand of the market. Because for every yes contract that you buy, someone else has to buy a no contract. It's like 1-to-1. That's how the market is made. And I don't know if there's a market maker or not who takes the transaction in the meantime and then matches it later. But so the prices for the yeses and nos will fluctuate depending on the supply and demand. And that floating price shows you a floating opinion. It allows you to use PredictIt to assess how various political outcomes will impact the markets. So here's an example of the PredictIt market for the 2020 US presidential election. You see, you could buy yeses and nos. Trump, for example, to buy a yes that he's going to win, that's only 30 cents. To buy a no, it's 71 cents. So say you buy a yes share for Donald for 30 cents. So if the Trump wins again, you'll get $1, which means you'll have a net profit of the 70 cents because you already paid the 30 cents, right? But if Trump loses, then you receive $0 and you lose that 30 cents. So basically the odds of Trump winning are lower. So if you're buying that he actually is going to win, you're going to get a better payout. So you're risking 30 cents to make 70 cents, which is what, over a 2-to-1 reward to risk, right? Asymmetrical trade. Now, if you wanted to bet no, then you would buy those shares for 71 cents if you thought he wasn't going to win. So if Trump wins, the trader will receive $0 and then have a loss of 71 cents. Where if he loses, you'll receive $1, which you already paid the 71 cents, right? So you'll only make 29 cents. You can see the risk to reward is not that great because the odds are in favor of him not winning, at least according to PredictIt. So you can use this to see the chances of someone getting elected. So if the yes shares cost 30 cents, then there's a 30% chance that Trump goes on for a second term. But there's a 71% chance that he does not get elected because no shares cost 71 cents. And that's how people are betting, so you're getting a better idea of what people are thinking because they're actually putting their money on the line. And like I said before, when people got to put their money on the line, they're a lot more honest. Just like in that last election, I'm sure there's a lot of people who said, no, I'm not voting for Trump. And then they went and voted for Trump, which is how he won. And it's kind of the same thing they can do in polls up until election. But when it comes to money, people are going to bet on what they actually think is going to happen. So as the 2020 election nears, the price of these contracts will fluctuate based off new information. And we know how much new information comes out before these elections, and it just keeps coming out. So you will see big fluctuations. And then once election time comes, we'll have a more clear indication of how the markets will react to another Trump victory. So if the Trump yes shares come into the event cheap, then we know if Trump wins again, then that's going to rattle the markets because everyone thought he was supposed to lose. It was a low probability event of him winning. Now here Tyler gets into some funny stuff. Tyler is always out there hustling. He's a poker player, trades markets, and he's always doing these side things too. Like here, taking advantage of political loudmouths, those poor people. But actually poor us, right? Because they keep talking to us. Ugh. Speaking of which, this is random, but if we're talking about politics, I gotta show it. From Sally Mayweather. Socialism, terrible. Democratic socialism, totally rad. Balloons, smiley face. Oh, she got a little party hat. Much better, much better. But anyway, Tyler says find someone who's obsessed with a polarizing candidate even though that candidate is a cheap yes unpredicted. So cheap yes means they have a low probability of winning. So Trump, for example, right now he only has a 30% chance of winning. Well, I don't know if that's right now. This article is a little old, but you know how people feel about politics. It's no rhyme or reason. They just feel very emotional. So even if there's a 30% chance of someone winning, they're going to go all in for that person. So here's what you do. You go and buy yes shares for Trump for $30. Then you go to that political loudmouth and bet $50 against Trump. You tell him, I bet you $50 Trump is going to lose. Of course he's going to take that, right? So once both bets are locked in, you have guaranteed yourself $20 no matter what happens with the election. Because if Trump wins, you lose $50 to your political loudmouth, but you gain $70 on the predicted. Remember, because 30 cents to 70 cents, right? So $30 to $70. Or it works, you pay the $30, they give you $100, and then you have that $70 in profit. So if you lost your $50 to that guy, but you won 70, yeah, you end up with 20, right? If Trump loses, you win $50 from your political loudmouth friend, but lose $30 on predicted, which again, $20. This is one of those beautiful arbitrage opportunities, which is the type of thing that Tyler is always looking for. And there's entire hedge funds that look for this same type of deal on a much larger scale. And it's beautiful because you can just go around again and again arbitraging off these passionate Trump supporters. Or, it doesn't have to be Trump. I don't care who someone supports. They're usually pretty emotionally involved. You're just playing the odds though if you're being objective. The actual political outcome does not matter to your money. Well, to your $20 in this case. Politically through policy, yeah, that might matter. But just in this case. So if you have a whale, which is what they call them at the poker tables, or an ultra passionate person in your circle, you can 10x your bet. $500 bet against him and $300 unpredicted, and lock in a nice $200 for yourself either way. That's an entire free night out for a fancy steak dinner and a show with your significant other. Your significant other or Tyler. Maybe take Tyler out because he showed you this. You might find him in a local Austin bar slamming whiskey and complaining about a recent trading loss. If you watched our options videos, you know what I'm talking about. So there you have it, a beautiful way to make money off of politics, and it doesn't even matter who wins. But the only way it works is if you control your emotions, because you are benefiting off the other guy not being able to control his emotions, which is happening in this predicted example, and it happens in markets too. So you got to be able to control yourself first, and this FOMO trading guy will help you do that. All you got to do is go to this link, which I'll put above and down below, fill in your email, hit the button, and I'll send it to you for free. Look at this, it's so beautiful. But this is one of those things with the tips and tricks you need to help control your emotions. Definitely go check it out. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you get a notification for future videos just like this one. We're doing 7 videos a week. That's every day of the week on all types of interesting stuff like markets, business, politics. No, we don't do politics unless it relates to the market. You can't suck me up into that game. We got enough of it already, right? So whoever you love politically, make sure you just leave a little love for me. And subscribe. Smash a like if you like this idea. Comment down below if you're liking anything unpredicted. And I will see you in the next video. Stay fallible out there. Bye.